What's up? It's Mike Mal, and you are listening to the Athletor Podcast, where we dive into the processes, mindsets, strategies of some of the most successful athletes and coaches from all walks of life. Athletor Podcast coming at you. It's Mark Muñoz on the line this week, and Munoz talks about the culture shock that it was moving from California to Stillwater. Okay, he also talks about what it's like to kind of thrust yourself into this wrestling culture that they have in Stillwater and in Oklahoma in general. We talk a lot about his move to MMA and what kind of sparked that. You'll never believe who his first sparring rounds were with when he started doing MMA. Another thing that Mark really harps on is the fatherhood aspect of the sport and how he dealt with it with his son Trey. All that and more coming up. Athletor Podcast. Don't go anywhere. Athletor Podcast, Mark Muñoz on the line. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day. I'm sure you have a ton of stuff to do, and I appreciate your time, brother.
All good, man. It's good to come back to you and be interviewed by you, man. So we go way back, brother.
Way back. We're not going to go that far back. I want to go, well, maybe we will go that far back, because one of my favorite stories in the world is your first day in Stillwater. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember like it was yesterday, man.
You remember getting a ride home or ride to the gym and what they all said to you?
Yeah, man. He's some type of Mexican. Yeah, I'm like, what? I thought, man, what? I thought there was only one type. I'm Filipino. He goes, you're Filipino. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Where am I at right now? You don't even know what a Filipino is. God.
But yes, we do go way back. That is one of my favorite stories that you tell, though.
Yeah.
It's funny to me, man, that believe it or not, and not that you don't believe it, but a lot of people don't realize what a connection there is between California wrestling and Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of guys that came from California to Stillwater and have really thrived. What do you think that connection is about? Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, I truly believe that California is actually one of the top sports one of the top state in the sport, so when it comes to high school wrestling. And, John has a camp in Reno and has a lot of connections in California. So when he does that camp in Reno, ton of California coaches go to that camp. And so he's been doing that camp for years. I mean, since 1999, 98, around there,
Yeah.
So he's got big connections with our state. So yeah, that in itself is going to get a lot of kids.
But you wouldn't think that a guy like Pendleton is coming from California, a guy like Jamil is coming from California, a guy like Eric Guerrero who's coming from California. You wouldn't think that culturally it would be as good of a fit as it has been over the past, let's call it 30 years. Why do you think it's a good fit, or it was a good fit for you?
Well, for me, I mean, I when I got injured my sophomore year, I ended up getting this VHS tape on How Low Can You Go of John Smith, and I didn't shoot a low single leg ever because I was a Greco guy. I made a Greco cadet world team. I went to Russia and competed there, and I was a Greco guy, and then I got injured. I went to a church camp, fell into a 10-foot ditch, and somebody fell on top of me, and then started watching How Low Can You Go and John Smith videos, and all of a sudden my junior year I started shooting low single legs. So went from being a Greco guy to like, shooting high crotches and low single legs. And so John, he was like instrumental, like in my development, not even being there because of his videos. I was like already like, enamored with his technique. Now, having said that, he's arguably one of the best American wrestlers in history, and winning 2 Olympic golds and what is that, four world championships? Yep, consecutively. So I mean, he did it 6 years in a row. So I mean, it's amazing what he did. But so. And then, him being a low single leg guy and high crotch guy, it just matched, And so being who he is, I wanted to have some pretty high accolades, wanted to accomplish big things. And I felt like he can guide me, So that's why I went to Oklahoma State.
Okay. And then when you get there, though, it's such a departure from what you're used to, right?
Yeah.
Why does that work, right? Because it's to me, it's like I came from Jersey and I loved it there too, right? Like you could be more opposite than New Jersey and Stillwater, okay, but it did feel right. What was it that felt right about Stillwater?
Yeah, so Stillwater, it's really unique, man. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden you're like driving and it's an hour away from both Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And
hey, don't go anywhere. It's Mike. We'll get back to the podcast in just a second. We got to pay the bills though. Do you have an athlete that's looking to break into the social media space? We at athletorlive.com have a brand new in-depth tutorial done by none other than Caden Henshaw. If you don't know who Caden is, he's not even a Division I wrestler, yet he's got hundreds of thousands of engaged followers. Learn how to create engaging content, grow your followers, and open up new opportunities in the NIL space. Go to athletorlive.com/Caden and we'll give you the first module completely free.
And you got to drive down this highway or this kind of, I wouldn't even call it a highway, this road that leads all the way down to Stillwater, which, I mean, the 53, I mean, you got to get there and it takes like 45 minutes to get there from that road, So then all of a sudden it's just Stillwater, Oklahoma, right? So it's we're tucked into like the middle of nowhere, and then it's just a college town. And what's unique about that is, since it's a big college, a lot of people go to that college. There's thousands, tens of thousands of people that go to college. So anytime anything happens, man, everyone's going to that event, right? Football games, wrestling, basketball games, what have you. People just support and rally around their teams, And so whenever there was a football game, oh my gosh, the town went nuts. I mean, flags would go up, orange would come up, and people would it would be so exciting. And so same thing with wrestling. Wrestling, it was the same way. I never knew. I mean, when I got there, it was like people knew who I was, and I was like, "What? I mean, how do you know who I am?" They're like, "I mean, that's back then when we didn't have like internet, right? Like, I mean, but people still who knew I was because of people like talking about the program and all of that stuff." So, I love that. I love how it was a community. People rallied around a team and they supported one another. And John created that culture too. So it was awesome, man. I love my time there, and you felt it too. You were there, man. You man, you were in my dorm room a lot of the times. Hanging out. So
nice.
Yeah, so it was awesome, man.
What's more exciting? Wrestling a home duel at Calgary or fighting in the UFC?
Oh, I would put it at the same. I'll put it at the same level.
Really?
You know? Yes. I mean, because look, a fight, man. I mean, you go into a fight. I mean, you kind of know you're going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't want to get hurt, but you're like, okay, there's a big chance that I'm going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Chances are.
Yeah, but in a wrestling match, you're like, you know, I was never afraid of getting hurt. I was afraid of losing, you know?
Mhm.
But in a fight, man, you do something wrong. I mean, it's a broken bone. It's a knockout. It's it's something, you know? So,
Yeah.
so fighting, I mean, there was that anxiety there, but I mean, it was the same. It felt the same way to me, you know, the nervousness felt the same way to me. When I was wrestling when I was wrestling in Bedlam or against Iowa at Gallagher, Iowa, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so big, you know? And it was just it was the same nerve, same butterfly.
Well, let me ask you this though. You didn't come from that. Like when you were in high school, you didn't have thousands of people in the stands.
No, we had
What
like
was it
20.
like?
We had like 20, and that was all of our parents.
Filipino families run deep. They do, for sure.
Yes,
but not that deep. Not Gallagher Iowa deep.
No, not Gallagher Iowa deep.
But what was it like coming out for a home duel? Even if it's a kind of, I don't want to say mean nothing, but like a mean nothing home duel against Utah Valley or whomever, and there's still a couple thousand people in the stands. What is that like as a young man having to deal with that?
Yeah, man. I mean, when I got there and I was a freshman, I was starting as a freshman. I was just like, oh man, this is crazy. You know, I mean, and then you're wrestling, you're hearing all this technique from the crowd, you know, like monkey grip, V block, look for your single leg. You know, I mean, I don't listen. I don't really like hear things, but then when people are yelling technique, I just kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. People are actually yelling that from the crowd, you know?
They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they knew what they're talking about. I was like, wow, this is crazy. It's like a wrestling culture, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people know wrestling there, you know? They know wrestling. They love wrestling. They consume wrestling. That's what they want to do, man. I mean, it's a big wrestling town, you know? So I love that.
I want to switch to MMA real quick. What was the driving force in switching over from wrestling to MMA?
I mean, I wasn't expecting to punch and kick people in the face for a living, you know? I wasn't expecting to do that. But I always say your life experiences and who you meet kind of shape who you are, right? So when I was at Oklahoma State, I coached there, and then all of a sudden, I get a associate head coach gig at UC Davis, which is literally 15 miles away from my hometown. And he was going to pay me way more than what John Smith was going to pay me, right? So I was like, wow, okay. I have a wife and 2 kids. I need to start providing for my family. So let's think about getting into coaching, right? So that's what I did, and took the leap. And Lenny Zaleski was the coach there, and he heard that I wanted to come back home, and so he hit me up, and I was like, "All right, coach, yeah, it's time, and I'm gonna take the leap and be a coach for you." You know, so. And then while I was there, I met this guy by the name of Uriah Faber. And Uriah Faber. Uriah's a Hall of Famer in the UFC and started in MMA when there was like.
Well, he made the weight class. I mean, they made a weight class in the UFC for him. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Like, dude's a
basically, yeah, he was the pioneer for all of the lower weight classes. 125, 135, 145. He was the guy, you know? Mm-hmm. So, So yeah, so he was a pioneer of the sport, and he was coaching at UC Davis the year that I came on. He graduated and came on staff. So when I was trying out for an Olympic team, I was taking him everywhere with me. So we went to Olympic trials together. We went to regional tournaments together, and he coached on staff with us. And it was, man, Uriah is a brother from another mother for me, man. I love that guy. So then he opened up a gym called Ultimate Fitness, and he's like, "Hey, Munoz, you need to come by. Come by and start doing some jujitsu." I'm like, "Okay." I started doing jujitsu, loved it. And he goes, "Hey, man, you need to start like doing some striking." I'm like, I don't know about that. Then he put me with one of his coaches. I started doing pad work. I'm like, oh man, this is cool, man. This is cool. And then this was kind of like two weeks into it. He's like, "Hey man, Randy Couture is coming here for a camp. He's trying to do his fight camp here, and he's bringing in Tito Ortiz, Frank Trigg, Scott Smith, James Irvin, Jeremy Freitag, like the who's who of the UFC at the time, right?" I'm like, and Randy Couture. Randy Couture is going to be there. And I'm like, oh, dang, dude, those guys are like legends, man, already. Like, I'll come watch. He's like, he's just come by. So I come by, and all those guys are there, right? And he's like, "Hey, Mark, why don't you lead the warm up and start doing drills with these guys?" I'm like, "What? Like lead the drill?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, we can do some wrestling drills." So I started leading the wrestling drills, just kind of warming up. And then I was like, "All right, guys, time to spar." I'm like, "What? What? What do you mean?" "All right, guys, get your gloves on, get your shin guards on, get your headgear. We're gonna spar." I'm like, "What the heck?" So I'm like, okay. So I'm fading away in the shadows. Like I'm gonna kick my feet up. I'm gonna get some popcorn and some soda and watch these guys beat each other up. Right? I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this. Right? There was 9 guys in the gym. An odd number.
It's an odd number, brother.
Yeah. So I'm the only one sitting there, right? And then Uriah comes around with a pair of shin guards, pair of gloves, and a headgear. "Hey, bro. Hey, can you hop in?" I'm like, heck no. Like these guys are gonna knock my block off, bro. I can't. Nah, dude. I can't do it. He goes, "Bro, all I gotta do is double jab, double leg. You'll be fine." I'm like, "Bro, what is a double jab, homie? Like, what? Like, I could double leg all day, but I'm gonna do this to double leg. Nah, man, I'm good, bro." He goes, "Dude, you know a double jab. You've been training." I go, 2 weeks, man. These guys been training for years. So anyways, I put them on, right? I'm like, I don't even know why I did it. I put them on. Everybody starts getting a partner. And then Randy Couture doesn't have a partner. And so Uriah goes, "Hey, Munoz, you got Randy first." I go, "What? That dude is a reigning world champion. That dude is fighting for the title. Like, how am I going to go with this dude first?" You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, man.
So your first round sparring were with friggin' Randy Couture.
Yeah. 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 So my first round was with him. And so I was like, oh my gosh, dude. All right, whatever. I said, man, I'm from Vallejo, man. I'm gonna put the Vallejo on him. Like the ghetto's gonna come out of me. It's either gonna be him or me. It's gonna be him, right? So I'm putting on the glove. I'm like walking in. I'm like, oh, I don't even know why I'm here now. I'm having this dialogue in my head, right? Like, oh shoot. So the bell rings, and I'm like, okay, all right. Well, this is what I learned in college. Like the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for 2 responses, right? Fight or flight. I didn't have wings. So I didn't have wings to fly. I didn't have rings. So I'm like, all right, it's time to fight, boy. I'm about to put it on this dude, right? So the bell rings. I'm like, all right. So I'm swinging for the fences. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. He's like bobbing and weaving, and I mean, I'm serious. Like the wind from my arm would have split his eyebrows in half, because I'm telling you, I was trying to swing so hard, right? And then he's like popping me in the face. And then I'm like, okay, he's jabbing me. So I duck down to a double leg, I get in on his legs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in on Randy Couture's legs. I can't believe it. So I'm like, I pick him up and I slam him, and I'm like ground and pounding, like boom, like raining punches from the heavens. And he's like, hey, we don't go 100% on their punches, man. Like, I got a fight coming up in 2 weeks, man. Just go 20% of punch, 100 on the grappling, but 20% on the punches. I said, oh, man, my bad. I thought this is what we were supposed to be doing, Randy. My bad, man. I'm sorry. And he goes, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, he's so professional, right? And you wouldn't expect anything less from him, right? So I'm like ground and pound. He reverses the position, and he's ground and pounding me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I get up and he starts punching me, and he picks up the pace. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if I should be doing this. And anyways, I get off. I end around. Randy goes, hey man, you are a natural. I'm like, what?
No,
how?
That's kind of you. That's your
I
thing.
said, you're the natural. I said, you're the natural. and I'm like, wait. He goes, you should really think about getting in mixed martial arts. And then Uriah comes around, smacks me in the chest. He goes, see, I told you, bro. And so that's what catapulted me into the UFC. I mean, like 9 months later, I was in the UFC after that.
That's wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wild.
So I get my first fight. 2 months after that. And then I fought literally like four times in a span of like 5 months. And then I fought in the WEC twice. And then after the WEC, I was in the UFC. And that was literally like 10 months. I was in the UFC.
That's wild. Let me ask you this. If you had to do it all over again, would you take the same path?
Oh man, no, I wouldn't have taken the same path. I mean, trust me, man. If I was going to get into mixed martial arts, I would, definitely find a gym, and I would train what I'm deficient in. Right. So if you're a striker, you would work on your ground game, your wrestling, and your jiu-jitsu. If you're a wrestler, I would work on my submission defense, right? And then I would work on my striking, and then I'll put it together. So that takes months of training.
Years in a lot of cases.
Years in a lot of cases, right? But like you would have to like show up consistently for, like we said, years to be able to like incorporate that and for it to be a part of who you are, So I was just thrown out there, man. Go fight, So and I'm a natural fighter already, So but I mean it takes a long time, man. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know that path is open for mixed martial artists now. I don't like it. You weren't in the infancy of mixed martial arts, but you certainly were in its toddler stage, right? I just don't know if I see that as much anymore. But that said, there is an entire, and this is going to lead me into your new gig coaching at Cal Baptist.
Yep.
There's going to be an entire generation of kids that may not get the same opportunities to wrestle at Division I program like you and I did. It's just, it is what it is. The landscape of Division I wrestling has changed 100%. And I think that certain avenues are going to present themselves more. One of those avenues is going to be MMA. So if you could talk to the younger generation of guys on the bubble, the guys that maybe aren't the top 2 recruits in the country, would you push them towards junior college now? If they can't go Division I right away, would you push them towards junior college right now? Would you push them towards MMA?
Well, there's a new rule out. I don't know if you know about the new rule.
Yeah.
If you wrestle in JUCO or junior college,
Doesn't count.
it doesn't count against your 5-year clock in a 4-year college, right? So, man, that's huge.
That's a lot.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get your education at a junior college, get some like prerequisites out of the way, and then go to a 4-year and still have 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's huge. You know, so
especially here in California, the JUCOs are free, dude.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's wild.
You would say,
and a lot of junior colleges have wrestling. You know?
Yeah. So if you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish in high school, you can go to JUCO now and train and work hard and try to, win JUCO nationals or compete at like a junior world team trials or go, do whatever to catch the eye of a top 10 Division I team. You know what I'm saying? So you still have time to be able to do that. I know there's guys that have wrestled at the state meet, right? When we just came from the state meet. There's kids that take, second, third, fourth, fifth even, and, want to wrestle in Division I. And they're like, wow, I wasn't able to win it or take top 3, but like, I want to wrestle Division I. Well, there's ways now. You can go JC now. So those guys that desire to go Division I and are willing to work towards it can definitely go to a junior college and work towards trying to get into a Division I college now, So
I think we're going to see a big boom in junior college wrestling. I really do.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Because it's just, I don't know how. Based on your football. Okay. I don't know how it's sustainable at this Division I level. I just don't. I'm in the current form that it's in right now. It's going to change. But let's get to you coaching at CBU.
Yep.
Man, you were out of the game. Like you were doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Derek Moore must be a really persuasive son of a gun to get you back.
Well, Lenny Zaleski, who was the head coach there, and Derek was coaching underneath Lenny. I coached for Lenny. Lenny tried to get me for 5 years.
I know.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to coach. I mean, coach, I got kids in the house still. Like I'm doing my own thing right now, and I'm building a couple businesses. Like I'm pretty busy, and so he stayed on me for 5 years, and he retires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he retires, Derek gets the head coaching job, who Laney and I coached at UC Davis, right? And then Derek out of the blue calls me, "Hey, Munoz, hey, is it time?" I go, "Time for what?" you want to grab something to eat? Like, you want to meet up? He goes, "No, is it time?" I go, "Time for what, man?" He goes, "Hey, you need to get back into college coaching." He goes, "Man, I would really love to have you on our staff here." He goes, "What you did for me was amazing. You need to do that for the rest of the guys here." And he goes, "It would be a blessing for you to be on staff." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm like doing my own thing right now, man. Like, I don't know." It didn't take long for me to realize, like, okay, I love college wrestling. Let me explore this option, right? So it took about maybe like 2 days, and then he calls me back, and then I'm like, "Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Let's." And I go, "I can make it work. If you're willing to have me part-time right now, I'll go part-time. And then we'll see what goes. We'll play by ear from there." He goes, "All right, take it." I go, "Oh, okay." You want me part-time? Okay. Yeah. So I'm there part-time, and, I'm scheduling privates with different guys, and they're 2 to 3 days a week, and traveling with them every time I can get a chance to travel with them. And it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome. And it's been, I've been at a program where it's at the pinnacle of top of the heap when it comes to Division I wrestling, and then I've been at the bottom, right? So I know what it takes to be at the top. I know what it takes to build a program, right? So where I'm back there at CBU. Now we're building this program, and we are getting a lot of momentum, So we're building this program, man. It's going to explode here pretty soon, man. I mean, a lot of people are starting to see the momentum we're having, and they're starting to jump on board, man. So it's pretty exciting.
No, you guys are doing a great job. And I tell Derek that every time I see him. You really are. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
After being out of college wrestling for as long as you were,
yeah.
Has anything changed? Have you, when you walk into a program like CBU, who is in the building stages of their program?
Yeah.
What's that like as a person who, like, you kind of been a winner your whole life?
Yeah.
What is it like to have to teach these kids how to win, how to grit out some of those ugly matches? Like, what is it like having to rebuild?
Yeah, because I'm here. Yeah. So I mean, just it's mentality. So you can't only just teach wrestling, but you gotta teach the mental aspect of the sport, right? Like you said, it's the grind. And it's not only the physical grind, but it's the day in, day out, showing up, getting in there and building your mental resolve, being your resilience, your perseverance, all of that, your character, right? So all of that comes with consistency, because you just got to keep showing up. And when you show up, man, it starts getting exciting. So just having them buy into that is huge. Secondly, you definitely have to have the technique, man, so the technique is huge, so our guys have to have that mentality of grinding and being tough and being able to, like, have high intensity, but they also have the technique. They also have the technique to back it up too, right? And then then all comes the other auxiliary things, right? So you got to have the strength too. You got to have the agility. You got to have, your diet has to be on point, so all of these have to work together, right? So, and then that's just for the individual person. For our program, we got to have a community. We got to build a community, right? We got to build the culture on the team, right? The character, all of our guys have to be good character guys, right? So I talk about the 3 C's of a successful program, right? Community, culture, and character. So yeah, I mean, that's what it takes, man. I mean, it's not easy to build a program, and that's what we're doing, man. We're in the trenches right now. We're in the trenches building this program. It's not easy, but we're here to answer the call, man. We're here to build these men into, like, men of character, integrity, leadership, faith, all of that through the sport of wrestling, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this chapter, I guess I would say. I'm excited for this chapter that I'm embarking upon. And I'm excited to build this program alongside Derek, who I coached in college, man. It's, I love that guy. We've been through a lot of things together, both, as a coach and athlete relationship and as friends, so it's going to be an awesome thing.
Well, let me paint a scenario for you.
I feel awkward, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
You go on full time in the next 2 years. You build CBU to a program that is top 10, top 20 in the country.
Yep.
Pretty consistently, which is not out of the stretch. It's not a big stretch. No. Like I don't think that's a big stretch.
No, it's not.
Mark Manning, maybe he decides to retire. And an AD from Nebraska calls you and offers you a head job. Would you take it?
Oh, man, dude.
I painted you into a corner, son.
Wow, Mike. Man, I mean, that's I mean, being in this arena right now just makes me realize how much I miss college wrestling. You know, and I've been in the club scene for a long time. You know, developing young kids all the way up to high school kids and having elite kids come from my program, right? But now, like in college, it's like everyone is like elite at that level, which I love. I love that. I love that level. You know, and so um, I can see myself taking a job like that, man. Honestly,
That's
and
wild. That
yeah,
is
I know.
wild.
I know.
5
It is
years
fun.
ago, if you would have told me that, I'd have been like, "You're high. You're
Yeah.
crazy. There's no
Yeah.
way."
No, I mean, I built a great thing here in Southern California, and then you know, I got you know satellite campuses now in my program. You know, so I got that going on now, and you know, I have coaches that have coached underneath me for years that can take over from me. You know, so um, and then I would feel comfortable with them taking it over. You know, so now it's still be involved, but at the same time, I mean, I'd be moving on to another
You don't
chapter
have
of
to
my
be
life.
in the day to day as much, right?
No, I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to.
Okay. I want to switch gears because I don't. Maybe people do know, but you are a great, not good, a great wrestling dad,
No.
and I think that we need a lot more great wrestling dads in the
Yeah.
wrestling community. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me how you brought Trey up through this sport.
Mm. Yeah.
I do remember a story you told me about David Taylor and how he changed Trey's thinking a little bit, and you were like, "What the heck, dude?" You know?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
how? But before that, even how did you bring Trey up through this sport? Because he's a butt kicker himself.
Yeah, man. I mean, how long do we have, man? How long do we
I
have?
got time, brother. I got nowhere to be.
Okay, well, shoot, like you know, Trey's been around the sport since he was in diapers, right? So I mean, he was born in Oklahoma. He went to all the dual meets, even in a baby carrier, he was there, you know. So I mean, he was feeling the energy of the crowd, and you know, John Smith held him. You know, I mean, it's crazy the you know what he was born into, right? But I never forced it on him. Never forced it on him. But he would come to the practices. I mean, he was at my gym, right? When I had, you know, wrestling club practice, but I never like said, "Hey, Trey, um, hey, you're going to practice today." I never forced him to come to practice, um, because I wanted him to find the sport for himself. I didn't want him to be forcing it because his dad forced him to get into it, right? So, um, so I would be say, "Hey, if you want to jump in, you can jump in anytime." At that time, when he was like 7 or 8, he was high into soccer and baseball. I mean, the kid is
Kid's an
amazing in
athlete.
soccer.
No,
Oh my
the kid's an
gosh,
athlete for
he's
sure.
an athlete.
Well,
And
you
when it
thank your
came,
wife for that. God bless her.
yeah, I thank my life. My wife is an amazing athlete, and she don't
I
get
know.
credit, man. She don't get credit, man.
Well,
She's
you let her know that I was giving her credit.
all right. Thank you. Yeah, my wife. I'm telling you, I'm gonna brag on her. She was, you know, an All-American and an All-American Oklahoma State for softball. She got drafted for pro softball, and she decided to forego it for me, which I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm that that good looking for someone to do that. You know, I'm ugly as they can. I'm ugly as they can be. You know, but but she decided to do that for me, man, and start a family. And man, I'm telling you, but she was an athlete. They went to the College World Series twice. She got a hit off of Jenny Finch. I mean, the only one to get a hit off of her. I mean, it's just like I'm telling you, like she was an athlete. You know,
Yeah.
she was
And
a
Trey's
force.
got it. 100%. Trey's got it.
Trey got it from her. He got it from his mama. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got a little bit from me, but he got it from his mama for sure. So, But yeah, I mean, just Trey, man. Back to him. He was playing soccer and baseball, and so he would hop in every now and then and wrestle and get beat up. and I'm like, hey, bud, look, these kids have been showing up every day, and you're showing up like one day a week trying to feel like you can like beat these guys. It takes time for you. I know I'm your dad, but it takes time for you to develop skills, right? So I made my garage into a wrestling room, and I started rolling with him a little bit until he felt like he was good enough to get into the class, right? So then he would hop into the class, and then he started going with all the tougher guys. Obviously he knew that was going to happen because if he shows up and works hard, he was going to be a part of that top group, right? And so slowly but surely he did that. Never forced him. And I'm like, hey, bud, you can keep playing soccer and baseball. Don't worry about that. Keep playing soccer and baseball. So he did. And then at the age of 13, David Taylor, I bring in David Taylor to come in to do a clinic. I run these series. I run these clinic series with all these guys, and I call it the Clinic Series of Legends, right? So I brought in John Smith. I brought in, Cale Sanderson. I brought in David Taylor. I brought in Kyle Dake. I brought in Jordan Burroughs. I brought in, all these guys, Yanni Diakomahalis. I brought in like all these guys. So I call it the Clinic Series of Legends, right? So, and I brought in David Taylor one day. And David comes in, he goes, hey man, what's your son up to? I go, he plays soccer and baseball. He goes, does he wrestle? I go, yeah, he wrestles every now and then. He goes, hey, can I roll with him? I go, yeah, man, that'd be awesome. And so he asked Trey if he can roll with him. Trey goes, yeah, let's do it. So he rolls with him for 2 hours. And I have video of it. I have video of him rolling with Trey. Yeah. And he rolled with him for 2 hours straight, just like dialing in his single leg, dialing in his high crotch, his low single leg, like just going over positions, right? And afterwards, this is like 2 days afterwards. Afterwards, he's like, okay, Dad, I want to quit soccer and baseball and I want to wrestle. I'm like, what?
What, man?
After David
one
Taylor,
time, David, all of a sudden,
what am I, chopped liver? Come on, man. What's up? So
that's great.
So yeah, so I mean, and then from there he got into it, and yeah, has taken off, man. So I'm proud of him, man, and I'm excited to see him, and yeah, I'm just excited for his future, man. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. Joel, anything before we get to our sprint?
I'm just giving you the cue. Bring it home.
Let's bring it on home. Bring it on home, baby. Joel says bring it home. Bring it home. Okay.
All right,
here we go. Don't think about these answers. Just fire away off the top of the head, okay?
All right.
Number one. What's the best wrestling shoe of all time?
Ooh, I would say the Adidas Addy Stars.
Ooh, got the Kindles. Okay. Yeah. I got a pair of them.
Yeah. I had those.
I got a pair of
the white and black ones. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I got those. I felt like those were like, I love those shoes, man.
They were great. Great shoes.
Right. I would put them. I put them kind of neck and neck to the A6 International Lights too.
Joel, do you have a pair of those? No. Okay. No, you have the new ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. The International Lights are good. I think I got a pair floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, my son. So here's the thing, though. My son, he's into it, and he will raid my closet. Yeah. The only thing he knows that are off limits are those Kindles. Like you do not touch the Kindle.
You don't touch the Kindles. You can't touch those, man. Those are vintage, man. Those are vintage.
Those are vintage, and they're like held together with like two pieces of glue and like a staple somewhere. Like they're not in great shape, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Next one. whether it be fighting, whether it be wrestling, whether it be as a father, if you could recommend a book to somebody to read right now that would kind of inflect as much of you on them as you could, what book would you recommend?
Ooh. I would say Atomic Habits. Wait, no. It's either that or no, yeah. I would go Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
James Clear.
Love it.
Yep. It's a good one. It's a good book. It's a good book.
Okay, next one. Here we go. They got to be American. You only get 4. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
American?
Yes.
It's got to be John Smith, right? He's got to be my George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Sanderson. Even though he beat me, right? I don't care. He's one of the GOATs.
For sure.
Although I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. Dan Gable, he's got to be up there. As much as I don't want to,
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then let's see. Stop it, man. These guys are trying to tell me which the last person. Let's see. This is a hard one for me. They have to be American.
Yeah.
Dave Schultz.
Well, I like that. Staying with the Cali blood. I like that. That's a good one.
Yep.
He's up there. Like we get that as the 4th quite a bit. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay. So you got John, you got Kale, you got Gable, and Dave Schultz. I love it. That's a great list.
Yeah.
All right. Last one, brother. You get a magic wand and you can change one thing about the sport of wrestling and it changes immediately. What would you change about the sport of wrestling?
Ooh. There's a lot of things, but I think the main thing I would change is no weight classes.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
So you would come in and wrestle your weight. Yeah. So if you wanna be disciplined and stay at a weight where you can function and practice and do all that, then you're gonna have to be disciplined. If you want to be bigger, and be bigger. But if you can't just cut a bunch of water weight and make a weight and then balloon back up, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that be a detriment to a lot of wrestlers. For them to cut so much weight. And they're good wrestlers. I know a lot of great wrestlers that cut so much weight, and then they would they would amount to nothing, you know,
because they hate the sport. They wind up resenting.
They wind up resenting the sport, you know. And another. I'm sorry. I'm putting 2 things on, but I think this is an important one. I think coaching, knowing how to be a great coach, and educating yourself on how to coach college kids, high school kids, international guys, knowing how to coach based on the kid, right? Based on their personality type, their learning style, their everything that encompasses who they are.
Everything that kind of goes into them, what they react to emotionally, 100%.
Everything.
We need to have college courses on this. I mean, there's no reason that we don't.
Yes, and so I feel that coaches can get educated on how to become a great coach, or how to become a better coach, right? Sure. So, just more education on that. You know, because I've seen, and we've all seen, you know, coaches like condescendingly demean kids and chase away kids from wanting to wrestle, right? So, yeah, I've seen it a lot. I've big tournaments, right? I saw it at the state tournament just recently, you know?
Yeah.
And we need to educate parents about that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How to become a great, supportive, loving, caring parent when it comes to elite athletes too, you know? So, so education, I would say education.
Yeah, that's important, man. On the weight cutting front, I don't want to get too into this, but we're trying. The P&L is really trying to get away from weigh-ins altogether. Trying to get away from it altogether. Like we're partnering with the American Scale Company, and we're going to have a system here soon where each kid gets a QR code and they weigh in every night at practice. And you have to wrestle at competition within 2 to 3 pounds of that weight that you come. Like,
yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, it just makes too much sense to me. It makes too much sense, Moody.
Too much sense. Too much sense.
Right? And we have the capability to do this now, right? It's $1,000 scale. Every one of these clubs can afford $1,000 scale. Okay? And each kid gets a QR code. We are competing within 3 pounds. And with the little kids, it's going to be within a pound. Okay.
Yeah. I've seen at little kids tournaments, kids losing like a 50-pound kid losing like 5 to 8 pounds of water.
It's embarrassing,
dude.
Munoz. It's embarrassing,
dude. I'm like, what are you doing to your kid, man? Like, oh my gosh.
There's no better way to make sure that he will not compete at a high level. There's no better way. No better way at all. So anyway, Munoz, who's better than you, brother? Nobody. Nobody's better. Thank you.
Man, so much. No problem, brother. No problem. My pleasure, man. And like I said, man, we go way back and always down to do an interview with you, brother, anytime.
All right, man. I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you, Munoz.
Okay. All right, no problem. We'll see you guys.
Wait. Don't go anywhere before you hit that next button. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, do us a huge favor. Click that subscribe button. And if you're so inclined, leave a review and share it.